Thank you for staying with us. The Center for Legal Support and Inmates Rehabilitation, a non-profit organization, continues to advocate for the rights of justice-impacted persons. This time around, they are drawing attention to the disproportionate allocation of funds in the 2025 budget and call for the reallocation of funds to prioritize the empowerment and reintegration of incarcerated individuals. According to the group, 183.6 billion naira was earmarked to be allocated to the Nigerian Correctional Service, provision for the reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of incarcerated persons, but it is not captured in the budget. They want sufficient funds to be earmarked for in-prison empowerment and rehabilitation. Well, joining us in the studio is Joke Aladesomi, founder and executive director, Center for Legal Support and Inmate Rehabilitation. Good morning.
Hi.
It's good to have you join us.
Thank you so much.
It seems budgeting is a major challenge because the previous guest we had also spoke about budget, ensuring that that will help inclusivity for persons living with disabilities. And here we are again talking about the importance of budgeting to reflect the need to address reformation of persons in prisons. Talk to us the importance of this matter of budgeting and how the critical role it plays basically and why the government must pay attention.
Right. Thank you very much and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I would start by saying that my reference this morning actually is with regards to the budget of the Nigerian Correctional Service. And I would start by referring to what the Act provides for. So Section 2 of that Act prioritizes the objective of the service to be for rehabilitation and reformation of incarcerated persons and ensuring, successful reintegration of incarcerated persons. And as an organization, when we saw the budget, we had to go deeper to see, okay, what's even the provision of, what's the allocation for rehabilitation of incarcerated persons? And to our shock, we discovered that there is no standalone allocation for rehabilitation and empowerment of incarcerated persons. And so we are so surprised because the truth remains that the primary objective of the service is actually for rehabilitation and reformation of incarcerated persons.
So where are we missing it when it comes to, because they had to change the name from prisons to correctional facilities. So we have the inmates who are also suffering, female inmates especially, who are also suffering from this classification of them, the inmates, where you see, okay, let's have those who are hardened criminal, those who are hardened criminal and those who are just having little issues, before they even find themselves behind the bars. But do you see, how do you mitigate this, or how do you ensure that you work with NGOs at least to, to
cover up the gaps,
some of those gaps that are coming up?
So thank you very much. I would say with regards to balancing gaps, the organizations who provide rehabilitation. As a matter of fact, as an organization, we provide education for incarcerated persons. We've set up libraries. We've done all of this. But the truth remains that when it comes to the primary responsibility of a government parastatal, there is no organization that would do it better than the government. So when an institution is set up primarily for rehabilitating and reformating, you can't omit that in your budget. You can't. When you look at the budget, what you're saying is rehabilitation and repairs. When you go down, you are seeing constructions of building. Another thing you would have said, okay, maybe rehabilitation is hidden somewhere inside it, is welfare. But the welfare is under miscellaneous.
Right, so I'm wondering what this is a reflection of, if we say we are trying to address these issues.
Yes, because for me, I would say that it's actually, the disposition clearly shows how we prioritize empowerment of incarcerated persons. It simply means that we do not consider it as important as it should be. Like I said earlier, organizations are already providing it, but let's look at Lagos, because of course Lagos is much more privileged. We have companies, we have the big organizations are here, NGOs are here, but what about correctional centers in Zamfara? What about the ones in Kwara? What about the ones in those areas that do not have the kind of privilege that Lagos already has?
So what has been done to engage with these governments that are not actually meeting up with the budgetary allocations for this correctional service? So
as an organization, we've actually written to the institution, we've written to the Senate, the committee, we've written to Nigerian Correctional Service, the Ministry of Interior, we've written letters to them saying that this budget has to be reviewed. You cannot omit your primary objective. You cannot be carried away by every other aspect and forget the reason why. And one of the reasons why it's important to us is this: whether we like it or not, as a nation, and even as a statistics widely accepted, 95% of incarcerated persons are coming back to society. So are we leaving them to just, okay, let them serve their punishment
and so the cycle continues if they are not reformed?
Yes.
Accordingly, so that they can, come back into the society. So now, perhaps you need to quickly tell us the implication as we wrap up this conversation.
So the implication is that you're going to have an AFSAD rehabilitation intervention. What means is, when people feel like they do it, there is really no structure around it. And I'm going to take a hint from what other countries are doing. I will try not to go, Western, but let's even look at African and what other African countries are doing. For instance, South Africa in their budget has a standalone allocation for rehabilitation, and below it you're seeing vocational training, you're seeing farming, you're seeing all these things. And the part of it that really hurts us is, let's even look a little bit beyond the adult prison, not even juveniles. That's right. Not even juveniles. There has to be a standalone. You can't just wrap it up under anywhere.
So are you
it's
getting
your primary
any response
objective
from those that you have engaged so far?
Well, we haven't, and that's why we are here, still saying that the budget needs to be reviewed. NCOS cannot ignore its primary objective. There has to be a standalone allocation for the rehabilitation and reintegration of incarcerated persons.
That's a fine place to leave the conversation. Joke Aladesomi, founder and executive director, Center for Legal Support and Inmate Rehabilitation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, talk may no longer be cheap as Nigerians raise concern over hiking calls and data tariff. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us.